Bob Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Cassie Heiter.
Well, it's really nice outside right now, but man, it was a wild morning. Just extensive damage across parts of really central and southern Oklahoma. This particular picture coming in out of Duncan from the Red River Tech Center, you can see some structural damage there. And Jim Gardner and Bob Mills Sky News 9, he started out once the sun came up, and he has seen so much damage, and know that he's still actually out flying out, kind of looking at some of that damage. If we can take Jim's shot, I know that he's out there. Jim, go ahead and give us an update.
Well, that's right, Cassie. This is a home that is just 1 mile northeast of the town of Wayne. Now, Wayne took a little bit of damage in town. They had some roofs gone and some trees down. But this home, this is the definition of bad luck. This home got completely destroyed with the home just to the south of it, right side of the screen. Don't have a scratch on it, Cassie. But also with tornadoes, when we come in and we're really looking for damage, you miss some of the strange things. So if we follow up here to the northeast where the tornado tracked, you can see it tracked around right here, took some trees, twisted off there. If you look, Cassie, in this field, as we come around here, and if we can find it there, pull back a little bit. Where'd it go? Tilt up. There you go, top of your screen. So you can see the hay bales in that field right there, that it just ground those hay bales up, and then it traveled onto the northeast, and you'll see where it actually tilled the ground right here, Cassie. We didn't see this morning. It actually tilled the ground right there that went into the trees. Now the grow facility to the north is just to the north of that, so we don't know if the tornado made a turn there or if that's just the outside winds that came around and took that fence down and actually threw that pallet into the side and stuck it in the side of that building. But again, just tornadoes are strange things, Cassie, but unfortunately for those people that are northeast here, their home is completely destroyed. Jim Gardner reporting live from Bob Mills Sky News 9. Back to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Jim. Yeah, just a wild video coming in out of the town of Wayne. And unfortunately, yes, there is a ton of property damage, and we know that there's been some cattle that lost their lives. Let's go ahead and go to other video from Jeremy. And Jeremy, he was actually in that tornado, okay? And that was in Wayne. And it was just wild because at first he was saying he had wind gusts between 80 to 100 miles an hour coming in out of one direction. It was just a moment later when he said it was coming from a completely different direction. So yes, he was actually in that circulation. And I know Lacey Swope, Hanishel, they were all over it this morning. They verified that with radar. So just a very wild morning. And we've actually confirmed that this tornado has been an EF2, so damage has already been surveyed. And we're talking 120 to 125 mile an hour winds with this particular tornado. So just a crazy, crazy morning. Let's go ahead and go back to Links 1. We can show you some of the other damage. Shelby Snow sent this one in from Aaron Springs. You can see that tree completely snapped in half, and they had several other pictures from there as well. So again, that one tornado, that was in Wayne. That was an EF2 confirmed so far. And there was another one just west of Gwinnett. And the one that was in Wayne was actually on the ground for at least 3 miles. But it all started in the west and southwest. And it was a little after 4 o'clock this morning when Lacey Swope had to issue her own News 9 tornado warning. It was at about 4:08 this morning, okay? So it started there, and it was about 30 minutes before the National Weather Service actually issued their tornado warning. So with the tools that we have, the technology, we're just able to do that and get you a much quicker warning. Some of the wind gusts that came out of the storms, over 60 miles an hour around Butler. And earlier this morning, we had thousands of customers without power, but we still have about 500 customers there around Cleveland County. So as far as severe weather is concerned, we still technically have that tornado watch in McCurtain County. Just kind of looking at some of the storms, we're almost out of that area now at this point, but some showers still there. No tornado warnings, no severe weather ongoing down there. That's some good news as far as rain is concerned. We've seen so much rain. In fact, there was between Blanchard and Norman, anywhere from about 4 to as much as around 5.5 inches. But you certainly couldn't tell that here in Oklahoma City at this point. It's gorgeous outside. This is our National Cowboy Museum camera, part of our Pike Pass Skycam network. We're at 59 degrees. We've got a west-southwest wind coming in at 10 miles an hour. Temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. We've got 30s and 40s out in the Panhandle with a breezy southwest wind. So the big picture showing this very dynamic storm system still causing some blizzard warnings, some winter storm warnings across the northern half of the country. And then as we go throughout the rest of this evening, the severe weather threat, that's going to shift off to the east. So this storm, it's a pretty slow mover. It's still going to be impacting parts of the U.S. as we get into tomorrow. Severe weather well out to the east, winter storm well to the north. Here in Oklahoma, though, we're going to be nice and dry. Things are going to be very quiet. So for this afternoon, the storm zone, it's going to stay well out to the south and east, but even these storms are pretty much coming to an end at this point. So the rain ending from west to east. Temperatures today winding up in the upper 50s and low 60s. Tonight, it's going to be cold. Temperatures around 30 degrees. Over the next couple of days, very quiet, just a little chilly with a breezy wind. Here's the thing, though. We are tracking another storm system down the road. We're talking starting at about midweek of next week, but it's going to be different this time. This time, temperatures will be in the 20s, and we are tracking a snowstorm that will be impacting parts of the state. Of course, it's still several days out, so we're going to have to fine-tune it as we get closer, but just something else that we're watching very closely. We'll be right back.